How about you? Welcome to Hamiltonville Farm. Today we're going to work with the Grapple and the Bush Hog, cleaning a lot of stuff up. Stick around, you're going to want to see this. This is kind of the big stuff I'm going to push out of the way with the Grapple, as you see in front of me. Now, I know I could probably run over that and with the Bush Hog and be okay, because it's, you know, that Bush Hog will take, it'll handle 2 to 3 inches in diameter, so I ain't really too worried about that. But, you know, you always want to use all your implements when you can, right? And so we'll grapple this thing up, put it in a pile somewhere, and cut down the rest of it. And I'll just work my way in between the kind of the big trees there. It'll make it look a lot better. I'm going to try to put a food pot. How about a food plot? That probably sounds better. We're going to try to put a food plot down in this area here in the next month or two. So we'll get to work on that. But I will be using my Grapple. The Grapple I have runs off a diverter valve. It is not a true function. I don't have a true third function switch. My Grapple, the actual grapples on the top move in unison, but they also apply independent force to the debris that I have inside the Grapple itself. So if you have a big, big wad of debris on the right side, that clamp will clamp down on that, and then as it tapers off to the left side of the Grapple, that clamp on the left side will clamp down on that and apply equal force to the whole load. So that's pretty cool. But this is the diverter valve that I have on my tractor. Some are electric, some are hydraulic, which simply means that when you apply the third function switch, which is here, you pull it you push it towards you to close it and push it away from you to open it. But anyway, what it simply means is it's going to divert the hydraulic fluid to the grapples to make them open and close. And but if you have a true third function switch, then those functions they work in unison, and you can curl and lift at the same time. So, but that's how that goes. And I'll hook it up here with the 6-foot Bush Hog that I've got on the back of my tractor here, along with all my camera equipment that you see there. So anyway, so let's get started and let's see if we can't get this thing cleaned up a little bit. when you're working with a grapple, I wanted to stop what I was doing and point out something. Those grapples, you know, you can see where the tines have gaps in them, so that allows debris and all that kind of stuff to kind of fall through the cracks, if you will, which is important, but it also allows sticks to go through. So you really have to keep an eye on what you're doing. Now this stick is just laid up here. It actually broke off, but I wanted to demonstrate how important it is to pay attention to this stuff, because if that goes through your radiator or whatever the case may be, then you're in deep doo-doo. So just pay attention when you're working around this kind of stuff that's going to work through the grapple. And also something else I wanted to point out is the Bush Hog. So make sure that when you've got an implement on the back side of your tractor, that you pay attention, because you don't want to get down here in the woods and get stuck where you can't maneuver your tractor. Remember, that thing's pretty long, sticking out there pretty far back, so pay attention to that. Yeah, it adds ballast and you can get a lot of work done with it, but just pay attention to not getting yourself in a tight corner somewhere and getting stuck down deep in the woods. So you see me dumping all this brush into this rut. Well, this rut keeps washing off, and this is a road that I've got going through the middle of my woods. So I think, and you can leave a comment below if you think this is going to help me out or not. You can see the ruts down there. But anyway, I think I can put all this junk into the ruts and then go back and put dirt on top of it. And it'll help that from it'll give me a solid base to drive over, and it'll help it keep from washing out in the future rains. So let me know if that's a good idea or not. All right, let's get to Bush Hog. what we cleared out. So just for video purposes, I'm going to do the whole thing. If I was to do the whole thing on video, it'd be 2 hours long or whatever. So, but something I wanted to point out, I'm going to link a video to Bush Hog Basics up here in the corner. But I wanted to point out, you're constantly raising and lowering your bush hog when you're doing bush hogging and thick stuff like this, because you get these stumps here, and that'll break a shear pin very easily. So you got to think about, hey, I got to keep my head on a swivel. And some people will actually ride with the tines of their bucket, the tines of their grapple or the blade of their bucket about that high off the ground, so your bucket hits it first and kind of alerts you to, hey, look here, you're going to hit a stump if you don't raise that bush hog up. So you can do it that way. I've seen people do that. I do that sometimes. But again, so now you can see how effective that grapple was, getting some of the big stuff out of the way. But now I can come back with the grapple and kind of use it as a rake to get all these limbs and debris up this way. So, you can couple that grapple with your bush hog, and you can really get a lot of work done. And you can also get some tractor therapy in. Anybody else out there do tractor therapy? I know I do. I get out here and, man, I love it. I just come out here and I could tool around on my tractor all day. It's great. So anyway, don't it look much better? I think so. And I'll get it all cut and all that stuff. And man, these deer are going to love it out here. I start planting some food plot stuff out here. Couple things to recap before we close this video out. Number one is you want to make sure that when you're if you're in the woods and you're plowing around with your bush hog and all that stuff, you got to keep safety in mind, right? Always think about that bush hog is spinning, it's going to throw some chunks of wood out. So make sure you got your safety, your eye protection on and all that good stuff. Also make sure that you pay attention to the sticks. Remember I showed you in the video where if that stick goes to that grapple, you don't want to push through your radiator or something like that. That would not be good. So pay attention to your surroundings. Always, you're constantly look up and down to make sure like you're not caught on a wiring harness or your hydraulic hoses or something like that. So just, driving a tractor is a lot of work, to be honest with you, because you've got to constantly be looking, well, in this environment. So, I'm always looking, is my bush hog going to miss a tree behind me? Is my bucket or my grapple going to hit the tree as I make my turn? Because your turning radius is, like trying to turn a 747 in this thing. Holy cow. So you got to constantly pay attention to where everything is while you're operating the tractor. And, but again, it's therapy to me. I love it. I come out here and spend hours and hours and hours on the tractor. So, it's a really good day when you get to spend a lot of time on the tractor. So hey, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. That helps our YouTube channel. Share it with a friend. I just love watching tractor videos. I subscribe to all these other channels where they do work on tractors just because I like watching that kind of stuff. So hopefully you do too, and hopefully you like the videos we create here at Hamiltonville Farm. If you do, click that. There's a subscribe button. It's a little red button below the video. If you're watching on a mobile device, you can turn it upright, vertical, and below the video is a red subscribe button. I've been telling people to hit the barn picture over here in the corner somewhere, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So if there's a barn that pops up, click it. That'll take you to the subscribe page. If not, there's a link below. You can click on that one. Comment about some safety tips or some tricks and tips that you have for your bush hog when you're bush hogging. Because hey, listen, I've told you 1,000 times, I'm still a beginner. I've got 137 hours on the tractor. Not all of them are bush hogging. So I obviously still need to learn some stuff too. And our community is all about helping everybody else get better. So we appreciate those kind of inputs. So hey, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Y'all take care.